All right, folks, no more hiding my, and welcome to one of our late stage matches for the second day of the Division 2 New Zealand Mixed Ultimate Championships. We have here Auckland's Llamanati facing off against Aura. Aura in the dark blue uniform. Great sideline drive to find the downfield receivers. Continuing that movement as we go. Llama's defense, who we've seen before, applying a lot of pressure, but not doing too strong a job of arresting that momentum. High blade over the top. Can be stolen out of the sky by the Llamas as they quickly fire back. And a quick tip to send it back the other way. My name, as always, is Blair Munro.
And I'm Emily Stone.
And what a privilege it is to be here with the ULTI.TV crew and our analyst, Tim, who we'll hear from a little bit later, for this exciting match against between Aura and Llamanati. Great way for Aura to put that one away, going one up over the Llama's side.
Some great energy coming out from the first point of the game. We hope to see that carry through the rest of the game as well. And we have seen these teams verse each other earlier in the day, just not on live stream. So there is a bit of a rivalry here. Aura wanting to get a win on live stream against Llamanati, who were able to take away that win from them this morning.
So a good early hold from Aura. Going to see them coming out on defense now. It's going to be Woodward to pick up and initiate from Llamanati, sorry. Comes in a little bit low. It's Kyle Harris going to Scala. Woodward narrowly managing to avoid giving it up. Puts the big shot away. Oh, through the bread basket to the ground on the other side. A little bit of a turf sandwich there.
Slow walk up there. Aura allowing the offense to set up.
Continuing to move the disc around. Working through the sideline here. T working the sideline, slightly overthrown. It's going to give the disc across despite a great attempt by Clayton Darth. Woodward to Murgatroyd. Harris again. Woodward slash cut across the front of the disc. Puts a backhand up with the edge down, trying to peel it back in for Harris, who just manages to toe it in. Although there's some confusion. And waiting for everyone else in the field to actually react before we know what's happened there. A little hard to tell. Very close to the far sideline. Borderline.
Looks a bit tricky.
Yeah.
And seeing that one again in slow motion.
So it looks like that's going to be a contested call. Disc is going to go back to Woodward. Woodward engaging with Harris. Opens up Murgatroyd on that near sideline. Inside shot, finds Kilgore. Goes around to Woodward. Murgatroyd. Initially open, but allowing the Aura defense to close in. Narrow windows being capitalized on. We've got Harris here with the disc on the near sideline, losing yards to go to Woodward. In a good position, but not able to finish things off just yet. Inside and through to Kilgore for the score to tie the game. Llamanati 1, Aura 1.
Great eyes there from Murgatroyd, seeing that gap there and pinpointing that one there.
So Llamas to come out on defense now. Zoe Holder with the pull for the Llamas. Pushing wide, using the far sideline, some quick, nice early disc movement. Great layout there to keep it in hands and off the turf. McKevitt with the disc now. Continues working that far sideline. Not able to get it in hands. Right off the fingertips to give possession back to the Llama side. Howe and Hayes as that handler core. Holder with an undercut. Marked by Aoife Broad. Overshoots Stephanie Howe. Bit of a tumble. The turnover's going to stand.
Amy Holder there on her toes.
And a pick has been called. Howe arguing that McKevitt's cut to get free took him between other players, and Josh Howe's desire to avoid body contact made him pull out of the pursuit. That separation a result of the line as opposed to McKevitt's athleticism. But not arguing that it would have stopped McKevitt getting the disc. So they'll keep possession there. Trying to work across the field to open up opportunities. McKevitt with a three-step looked off in favour of a near side reset. Aura working hard, driving up that far sideline. A second attempt, trying to hit number 36 on that deep cut. Doesn't come away. The Llamas get the disc again. Ow, putting a blade over the top. It's not going to reach the hands of Hayes, so Aura have another shot to finish things out. Big one across the bows. Aoife Broad with the one-handed take from overhead. Aura up by 1.
Wonderful grab there. Absolutely insane. One-handed.
Great read. What a rundown.
And some great communication between those two deep receivers there, understanding that one of them had a good read on the disc and had better positioning.
And the hand goes up, nice and ready. It'll be fielded by Sanchez. Looking for an early pass, but all the eyes are on the downfield. Love Parada the option. Goes to Howe near sideline, rips it deep.
Amy Holder, can she read that disc? Not quite.
Great read, but just didn't have the legs to get underneath it. Hoping to tie the game there, but it's given Aura a chance to come back the other way.
Looks like that shot was just touching outside of the end zone as well.
Some aggressive defense, not enough to slow down Aura. Managing to get those recentering passes, a little bit of air bounce to get around the mark before a big huck gets lined up. Oh, great attempt by Sanchez, not going to be enough. The count getting a little high. High stall, he's got to let go of it. Not able to do it inbounds. So taking those couple of steps away from the end zone. Couple shimmy steps for a reset. Howe closes down that near side opportunity.
And passes through the hands of two receivers there, not quite connecting with either one of them.
Howe with the disc, tries to reset to Hayes. Sanchez has an opportunity on that near sideline. Puts it up and it starts to curl early. Stephanie Howe underneath the hands, off the knees and giving the disc back to Aura. Sanchez with the eat up. He's hungry. Howe calling to look to the deep space instead, uses himself as a near side, far midfield reset. Love Parada with the disc, far sideline. Goes through to Stephanie Howe. Under pressure, the stall count's getting high. Big shot goes up. Sanchez pulls it down.
For the bookends.
Yeah, a little bit of a shack roll there as well. Keeping the Llamas 2-2, tying the game.
Such a great run through there. And then just being able to convert that into the score. Over the top.
Great work by Nico Sanchez there to tie the game. Full field, or full team rather, on the field for the Llamas, so we could expect to see some zone defense, even though conditions are not particularly windy. Things are a lot more stable than they have been. And so we haven't seen zone played quite as effectively. Where we have, it's been looking to really backload the end of those zones with athletic players who can cover those deep spaces. And then also potentially front-loading, really trying to smother the disc to stop anything being initiated from the offensive side. So it'll be interesting to see what the Llamas do as they bring down against that Aura side. Woodward puts it up.
Brittany Cock with the disc.
Big take with two hands on that far sideline. Gets the reset. Starts to use the word. Pushes towards that near sideline. Getting a big bite. Opening up the midfield. Cock with the disc now. Finds Liddell. Some give and go. Trying to pressure for that up line, but Woodward's enough to stop it. Can't stop it. Going back to Brittany Cock, though. Up and around. Jumped in for the score. Aura back up by 1.
Some great handler movement and downfield cuts there from Brittany Cock. Getting the assist for that score.
Great way to finish that point for Aura. Just a little bit of back and forth. Great long pull. Touching down at around the brick mark. Woodward again to initiate, supported in the handler space by Harris and Kilgore. Match defense in the downfield. McKevitt leveraging his athleticism, nearly able to get that poach block. Could see him peeling off that handler reset. But Llamanati's with a blade. Murgatroyd in a layout's not going to be enough to get it in hands. Not quite dialed in. Aura at pace. The Arth going long for it. Marked by Harris.
Some great leading passes, one after the other there.
Yeah, Aura looking to prioritize kind of the short to middle game. McKevitt takes it down. Little bit of miscommunication there from two Aura downfielders, both diving the wrong way to be able to get involved in that possession. Woodward goes to Jess Cook. Harris back to Woodward. Kilgore stretching the deep space. Woodward puts it up. It's going to be good, but there's no support. McKevitt closing the gap. Jess Cook turning over the shoulder. McKevitt gets involved. Having completed his bid before the contact, it looks like there's going to be no foul on that one. If anything, Cook tripped over him towards the end, I think.
Yeah.
I I think that was really great awareness by Mickael to go when he did. Going early, if you're going to be able to put the body on the line, it gets your body out in front of the other player, minimises the likelihood you're throwing your weight into them.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, great upline aggression there. DeRuyter looking as though she might need to get involved, decides to stretch into the downfield space. Woodward oppressive on the mark. Harris has shut it down. Nice and long. Murgatroyd with one hand. And that's going to do it. Llamas back on serve. Steph Howe with the pull. Fielded. Aura away with it. Sends to Brittany Cock, continues to the far sideline. Marked by Josh Howe, can't stop the reset. Aura in a solid position. Becky Liddell trying to fill in on that near side handler spot. Aoife Broad getting stuck in. Big hammer over the top for the score. Aura back up by 1.
That stall count looked like it was getting a bit high. Looks like a cop-out throw there, but it came down and they were successful with it.
Huge hammer. Elliot Hayes gave that one a little bit of breathing room, which allowed Aura to walk away with that one. I think once that disc went up, there was a little bit of disc watching from the Llamanati defence. Amy Holder was in a decent position to at least pressure that one a little more. Maybe chose not to, whether or not it was a case of just not wanting to get involved in what could have ended as a physical play.
Yeah, also looks like that from the Aura side as well. They're both teams holding back from supporting that team there.
And so really, considering that the teams are this closely contested, the first team to make that correction is probably going to be the one to start picking up a bit of a tailwind and widening that gap. We're seeing the hands ready from Llamanati and the signal from the Aura side as the pull goes up. Nice amount of loft on that one. Some good hang time. Are they using it? Oh, yes. McKevitt closing off that first pass opportunity. Amy Holder gets it in the midfield instead. Liao continues to love Parada. Hayes stretching the field. He's underneath it, and it's good. Elliot Hayes tying the game. 4-4, Llamas and Aura.
Such a wonderful shot, and seeing number 73 there, Hayes just pull away from those defenders, creating that space and that security when catching that disc.
Larkin with the pull for the Llamas. Nice and high. Fielded right in the front corner of the end zone. Quick recentering from Aura gets them out of the danger zone. Not given an opportunity to work the sideline up and around to stretch the width of the field as they face down this Llamanati zone defense. Heading back towards the middle. Brittany Koch getting involved. Big fakes trying to get a bite out of Harris on the mark. Wide and through, finding an opening. McKevitt backfilling, puts it up. Is it good? Oh, yes it is.
Wonderful attack to combat that zone there, finding those gaps and really just hucking it long and seeing that there is a receiver there to receive that one.
Absolutely. So now the score is 5-4, Aura up by 1. We'll get that scoreboard on screen adjusted for you in just a moment. Great take there by Aura's downfield. We see the hand from Llamanati. And it responds with a low, flat pull, touching down right around that near sideline, about 18 meters in front of the defensive zone. It's going to be picked up by Woodward. McKevitt aggressive on that first pass, but not enough to stop it, recentering to Cook. Harris cutting across the front of the zone, puts a long shot up. Can it be good? Oh, not with that kind of defense.
Amazing
down.
bid there.
Great rundown by Scarlett McCall by Llamanati's, but Aura just that one step front. From behind as well, putting the afterburners on. Huge defensive pressure by Heitka. Recentering pass, Murgatroyd on defense. Harris trying to shut down that midfield. McKevitt in front of Woodward, but then stretching the depth. There's nothing happening in the handler space to reward that deep cut, though. Slow, controlled disc movement from Aura. Big shot with a lot of float underneath it. Might be a Llama interception. Yes, it is.
Really taking advantage of that height that the Llamas have on that side.
Looks like a stall was called, though. So they'll send that one back.
Back to Woodward, to Murgatroyd, and back again. Looking for that movement downfield, but not liking what he's seeing.
Harris up and around to Woodward to finish that one off. That front corner, we've seen so many points scored in those front corners over the course of the tournament. It's such a dangerous spot, particularly when you think about the way that these teams move from the handler space. That quick lateral pass and that diagonal cut across the front of the disc. It's one of the reasons why that front corner is such a threat. Teams drill that as a reset option. They looking when they're pinned down on the sideline, how can they use it? And so we see a lot of reps on that. As you start extending that towards the end zone, that same reset drill becomes a scoring opportunity. And because it's one that's so well drilled, as with all things in life, you reach for the things that are already close at hand. So a female matching majority point here.
Better communication from sideline. Might be expecting to see a zone here.
Amy Holder with the pull.
Lovely pull there.
Definitely right on that zone call. Oh, a pick called there. One of those things is a little bit tough to call a pick when you're playing a zone, considering that a pick implies that you have to be within 3 meters of a player you're actively defending. As we've talked about throughout the course of the tournament, when you're playing in a zone, you're not actually defending players so much as you're defending space. So interesting that that collision there was led to a stoppage. I think more a miscommunication error than application of the rules there. But Aura able to keep working up that far sideline. Holder aggressive on the defense. Trying to focus on that sideline trap. Becky Liddell, big fakes, 1 and 2.
And transitioning into what was match.
Hayes nearly gets a bite on it. And they're going to be sending it back.
Travel call on the throw. Having a bit of a discussion about that one. And it's tapped back in there by Stephanie Howe.
Liddell manages to get away with the reset. Holder still trying to pin the disc down on the far sideline. Not having the greatest job. They're able to get away with it. Hayes tight on the mark. Liddell, separation from Howe, able to quickly offload, gaining yards in the process. Aura building up a little bit of momentum. Working that near sideline. Liddell calling for it. Not an option, though. Brittany Cock, far sideline.
Zoe Holder had an attempt on that one. Not quite getting that one.
Continuing some great offensive disc movement here from Aura, putting it up. Too good. Aura back up by 1. The score is 6-5.
Yeah, 6-5 to Aura. Teams trading blows this first half. A very even matchup. Bit of an untidy start from both teams. Those first 4 points, a couple of turnovers on both sides. But the last few points have tidied up significantly. Both teams really looking after the disc now. They've put away some of those deep shots that were leading to turnovers early in the game. Playing more conservatively, keeping that offense tight. Llamanati a few points ago choosing to mix things up, bringing out a zone defense, which has definitely slowed down the Aurora offense, but so far has not yielded a break. Be interested to see here if Aura make any defensive changes to try and get this critical break that they're really wanting to. A break at this point in the first half would really give them some momentum, both into half and out the other side.
Well, it's as you said, Tim, earlier on in the day, you should never lose a game without throwing down a zone. Llamanati is currently on the back foot. Looking like another match point from Aura. Howe finds Woodward, goes for the long drive, looking for Amy Holder. Not going to happen. Heike shuts that one down.
Another great D in the deep from the Aura female matching players. Really shutting that down. Aura looking to play out of a horizontal offense this time. Let's see if they can be a bit more dynamic with their cutting, both from the downfield and the handlers. I think a bit more movement in the handler set will help those deep cutters a lot with their timing and space. Oh, unfortunate there, sending it over the receiver's head.
Yeah, Aoife Broad not able to keep that one in bounds. Howe and Hayes. Diath and McKevitt on the marks. Murgatroyd with a great initiation cut, but Broad's too close to let that one be an option. Sanchez takes the wide reset. Hayes curving through. Big hammer over the top. Well found by Chloe Liao to tie the game again for Llamanati. And a timeout being called.
Yeah, really good timing to take a timeout at this point in the match. As I said, they have been trading, and a break right before half for either team would be a great outcome.
So just to confirm from your stats, Tim, we are just looking at holds at the moment.
So far.
Okay.
Holds on, holds on, holds.
Holds on, holds on, holds. I mean, there's the saying in Ultimate, it's that was it offense wins games, defense wins championships. Ultimately, when you're out there as an offensive player, your job is to score. And when you're out playing defense a lot, your job realistically is to just tire out the offense before letting them score. Anything you do more than that is a cherry on top of what is hopefully a pretty solid Sunday. Much like the solid Sunday we have in front of us with the Llamanati on your screen at the moment. 6-6 against Aura, who I think a lot of their team will be sort of hangovers from the gangrene days. So a lot of familiar names seeing there that we're used to seeing in a very, very vibrant coloured kit. But yeah, what's going to happen is this game's going to be opened up by a break. That's going to be the thing that ultimately leads to one team establishing dominance in this game over the other.
Now, there could be some 3D chess going on here. One of these teams may have been quite happy to play out the trading game for the first portion of the game, and have just been biding their time, saving some legs, saving some energy for the right moment. And this might be the moment they're about to implement some critical changes, maybe stacking a line for this one point, burning some legs to get that break.
Taking a little longer to break the huddle. And I think that might be what you're exactly talking about. They'll be going through, looking at, right, who's feeling fresh, who's feeling well-connected, who knows they've got a matchup over the player they've been marking against this whole time. 12 points, 43 minutes. It's a pretty long amount of time to really be spending on the field against your defensive or offensive counterpart. If you haven't learned anything in the first 12 points, it sort of speaks to making an adjustment to that mindfulness, what you're picking up from your time spent on the field.
Yeah, you could be right there, Blair. Lots of careful peering down the field. This might be back to match defense from the Llamanati.
While it hasn't generated a break for them yet, if they treat those first 12 points as just feeling things out, this might be what we see. Hayes making an aggressive push, not quite tight enough.
A bit of confusion from the Llamanati defense. It was a great chase down on that pull. Just given Aura a couple of soft yard gainers.
But so far, apart from that bobble, Aura were doing incredibly well. They've almost always had one player seemingly unmarked. So a bit of confusion or miscommunication from that Llama side. They have an opportunity here now, though. Finds Howe near sideline. Love Parada calling for it. Cheeky chicken dance mid-run. Big shot goes up. Is it going to come back? Oh, only just. Jacob Kilgore with the score.
Excellent job by the receiver there, both to catch that disc coming on a sharp angle with the wind holding it on that sideline. Great footwork to stay in the field at the same time.
Yeah, so close to the sideline. We're going to see again. Ooh, unnecessary break for Llamas to take the lead.
First break of the game. Now it's starting to get interesting.
And a hold here from the Llamas might represent the turning of a page in this game, as they would hopefully be able to put that away for themselves to finish up the half. Aura needing to respond with some clean offense. We know they're capable of it. Some early disc movement, just trying to keep everything moving, working the near sideline, early upline cut, shut down by Steph Howe. Becky Liddell calling for it, marked out by Amy Holder, the reset engaged. Little push pass to take some yards.
Oh, almost a hand on that one.
An out call, but it looks like he's not going to pursue it. Hayes hitting that inside shoulder, aggressively pursuing that upline cut. The disc instead goes back to the middle, back to the near sideline. Love Parada in position. Great take on that near sideline, not able to finish it off just yet. Steph Howe leaving only small windows, but it's up and over. Peeling early, fielded well. Intercepted. A foul called on that one.
And a bit of sprinkling of rain here, so that might affect how some of these players treasure that disc.
Here we go again. The throws being wound up. Wondering if there was contact on the follow through. So they're just going to have that resolution there. Contested foul. So we're going to send the disc back. Not a lot has changed for them in the downfield. So there's still that crossfield option available. De Ruyter would be a great receiver for the Aura side here, using that height mismatch over Murgatroyd for Lamanatis. But it would require a lot of precision. And when we look at the other Lamanatis defenders, they're likely to close it down, but it doesn't matter. Hitting that near sideline, really quick up line. Aura to tie the game. So a Galaxy point, or game double half. In a race to 15, the first team to take 8 points is going to be the one that wins the half. Knowing now that with one break for the Llamas, and then we're essentially still back on serve. I take that back. With one break, Llama holding here will see them finish the half. And I believe Llamas started the game on defense. They'll start the second half on offense. So a Llama hold here puts them in a really, really good spot. They'll be up by 1, and then coming into the second half, they won't have to fight for the disc. They'll be able to start on offense. An Aura break here, on the other hand, puts the Llamas in a slightly worse spot. Woodward puts the hand up. Pull comes in low and flat, curving back towards the center of the field, touching down around 10 meters into the Llamas' defensive half. Aura looking at that match defense. McKevitt poaching off in the lane, trying to stop any downfield progression. Well taken.
Holder, able to take that disc there. Looking for Woodward.
Harris wide open, but it's a low shot through to Jess Cook. Back to Harris. Oh, De Ruyter shuts it down. That's what Aura were looking for. McKevitt working towards that far sideline. Nice and patient. Big fakes, getting huge movement from the defense, creating those narrow channels Aura looking to capitalize on. Oh, slightly overthrown on that upline attempt. It's going to give the disc back to the Llamas, but a long field ahead. Not clean, but a chance for a hold here. Murgatroyd already pushing deep. What a target. Oh, and a big dive's not going to be enough. It started to drop just a fraction too early. McKevitt open, being one of the only Aura players to actively chase that deep shot. Hits back towards the middle. Oh, what a block from Woodward.
Insane take there as he nonchalantly walks up to the disc to pick up.
Oh, and he was moving in slow motion. What a machine. Left hand, backhand, around to Holder. De Ruyter, long on the mark. Kilgore, hammer over the top. Woodward bookends to take half. Llamanati up by 1. Are they bookends or are they llama ears?
That is the question.
Fantastic work there defensively to earn that break.
It's given them the reward of taking half, putting them in that great position there they want to be in.
Absolutely. I mean, the first 12 points of the game was just clean holds, and then it's slowly shifting ever so slightly towards the Llamas. But we'll see how the second half of this game unfolds in just a moment. Llamas 8, Aura 7. Until we come back, my name is Blair Monroe.
And my name is Emily Stone.
And we've got Tim Gurman here in the booth as well, providing us with some really high-level insights. So glad to have him here for one of the final games of our lower bracket play before we move on to our final coverage for the 2025 Division 2 Mixed Ultimate Championships here in Kirikiriroa with ULTI.TV.
Come with us, share our waka, and feel our strength and passion. For this is a place beyond the expected, which constantly surprises. With natural beauty, powerful history, and out-of-this-world experiences. Always far from the ordinary, this is a magical region of villages to play, relax, connect, and exploring. Here, our kaitiaki runs deep, our mana inspires, and unforgettable discoveries are just around the bend. A welcoming place where our people keep it real and experiences become unreal. This is the mighty Waikato. It's all yours to discover.
We're all in this together. We may not be able to completely change the landscape, but what we can do is provide our little support for grassroots projects that are making a profound impact. And what we know is that when we make a profound impact in our own backyards, in our own communities, it ripples across the world. If we all looked in our own backyards to make that change there, then the world really does become a better place, and that's what we're committed to achieving.
Always on the move? You can keep up to date with ULTI.TV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend, or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.
And we are back, folks, for the second half of this game. It's Aura versus Llamanati. Llamanati to receive after having closed out the second half with a necessary break differential. Up by 1 and having received the disc without having to fight for it. Howe giving the signal for the brick. We're going to bring it to a spot about 18 meters in front of the center of their defensive end zone. A vertical stack supported by Hayes in the handler space. Their front of stack, Amy Holder being given a lot of room, but it's Love Parada with the initiation cut off the back of the stack, pushing towards the far sideline. Who's going to get the disc? Howe pushing in close and peeling back, losing a couple of yards from that one, but it's worth it for good position in the hands of a powerful handler. Liao puts it long, but not quite long enough for Sanchez to get onto it. It's a turnover. Aura away with the big shot, and it's nice and low. Becky Liddell with the chase. Comfortable. Good attempt by Howe, but he's going to get to it after Liddell's already got her claws into it. Some great give-go movement from Aura, hoping to tie the game.
With Llamanati right on their toes as well. They are not letting this one up easily.
Oh, overthrown. High angle.
Giving Llamanati a opportunity or a chance to redeem themselves with a hold.
Again, Llamanati definitely doing it the hard way here on the second day of our Division 2 Mixed Ultimate Championships. Sanchez stretching the field, trying to get a deep option available. Hayes having to slow down and correct that one. Big shot going up, looking for Love Parada. Aura's in the way. Oh, the no-look. Peeled wrong off his fingers, but it was still able to be kept alive. Too low on the turf, but unsure whether or not it was up or not. It was a very close one.
Yeah, that is up for discussion for the players on the field, though. They aren't able to see the perspective we can with the replay here. And it's going back to number 11.
And
looking
so
for that same throw. Couldn't quite find it. Zoe Holder had locked her down, but she manages to get it back.
Oh, some good chop steps finding Hayes out of position, but he's still not a great option there. Deciding to go through Becky Liddell instead. Up and over and around. Some great footwork from the handlers for Aura. Up and over. Nice amount of float. Well fielded. It's going to tie the game. We are 8-8.
That is a break for Aura, putting them in a position that ties them with Llamanati. Llamanati still at the advantage coming out on offense in this next point. So if they manage to continue holding, they will come out with the win on top.
Here's the pull, but it's got enough to bring it back in. Woodward to pick up, working with Palakin. To Woodward again. So pick being called. So just players catching up, the pick occurring before the throw. Means it might have affected the throw, so just to be safe, this going back to Woodward, but it leaves his hands to find Harris. Great take by Jess Cook, marked by Brittany Cock, near sideline. Trying to get engagement from Palakin, but it's not enough. He's got the inside shoulder over Diath. Again, tight, close quarters cutting. Leaves the Aura players, some of them on the back foot. Kilgore up and around. Palakin for the score. Llamas back up by 1.
Wonderful up the line movement there from the Llamatis. Just continuation after continuation, and that massive grab there from Jess Cook, looking for the around from Cromwell, coming up the line.
And just one big finish here. Kilgar to Palakin. Just as easy as that. Llamas back up. 9/8. Murgatroyd with a nice pull for the Llamas. Touching down and around the brick mark, but it's picked up early. Some quick disc movement to start things off for Aura for this next possession. Hoping for a hold here to tie the game. McKivitt clearing out of the middle space. Some great shifty work from those handler resets to shake free. Who's stretching deep? T in hot pursuit, but it's not going to happen.
I think the wind affected that one just a bit too much there.
Absolutely. So it's coming a little bit from behind us here in the booth, which means it's going from the bottom of your screen a little towards the top. It's going to have pushed that disc towards that far sideline. And again, the higher the disc goes, the more impact the wind tends to have. It's a little bit faster further away from the ground. Woodward with the inside break, looking for Cook. Finds Kilgar instead, getting involved. Big shot goes up. Naomi Mies with the score. Llamas up by 2.
That is the second break of the game. Great run down there.
Starting at this point there, once Kilgour comes down with it, you can see Ayumi Mies just absolutely take off towards the end zone. All but unmarked. 3 players slowly closing in, none close enough to make a difference to that one. What a great read and a beautiful rundown to put Llamas up by 2. Llama defense can't exactly afford to let off the gas just yet. Amy Holder with the disc, keeping it low and flat, but it's going to peel over and touch down outside of the play area. There was no brick call just yet. A little bit of panic from the Aura handlers. Looks like it'll be taken from the sideline. Got Marriott in defense. Big touch from Love Parata, shutting that one down. A chance for another break here. Holder and Sanchez in the handler space. Quick reset to start. Love Parata manages to get it with 1. Big hammer over the top. Plenty of time trying to stunt on him a little. Maybe a little too close to the back end of the end zone. Is going to see it turn and give Aura an opportunity to come back the other way.
Some great aggressive cuts there from Aura.
Really good movement. It's Becky Liddell with it now on the far sideline, but it blades over too early, and it's going to give the disc back to the Llamas as we enter the 70th minute. Becky Liddell eats that up. Quick disc movement again. Working through the Aura ladies. Great to see some quality mixed ultimate. And it's going to be pulled in. Aura back within 1. Big pull from Mickael. How to pick up, supported by Hayes again. That same Llama's vertical stack. Love Parada on the far sideline. Jess Cook trying to stretch the deep space. Hits the inside shoulder, gets the upline reset. Hayes continues with the cannon. But it fades away towards that far sideline. It's not going to come away.
Yeah, that sideline is getting more dangerous to get stuck on now that the wind has picked up slightly. And that one touching the beneath of that disc, just pulling it over a bit much for Cook to come down with the score. Great inside shot there.
Love Parada with another block.
Amazing block. But a call.
This looks like the turnover, I think, is going to stand. So it's how to pick up again. That same vertical stack. We're going to probably see some cuts coming from the back of the zone. There it is, La Parada. Oh, great work by T to peel off and close that lane. Tried to find Woodward, but Aura is in the way. Nice and quick offload. Being forced towards that low side, that far sideline where the wind is pushing the disc already. And that's where that float comes through, trying to work back towards that near sideline. McKivitt puts it up. Lot of float underneath. Tums down with it. Aoife Broad continues the cut deep into the end zone. Not available there as an option though. Has to go for that reset. Well taken by McKivitt. Backhand up. Aura have tied the game. It's 10-10.
Such a close game. Which is interesting to see because they versed each other this morning for the first game of the day. And Aura weren't able to get more than 7 points on the scoreboard where Llamanati came away with 15. So they've definitely upped the intensity, upped the pressure, and wanting to put everything on the field for the last game of their day.
Well, as I've said before, every superpower is fighting the last war. Llamanati probably need to recalibrate in their minds what this Aura side is capable of. Aura will have made adjustments after losing to Llamanati earlier on today. Llamanati probably came into this with that mindset of, well, we've beaten them. We know how to handle them. We know what they're capable of. But you know what they were capable of this morning. This afternoon, it's an entirely separate team. There's no team harder to beat than one you've already beaten. So a tied game here. We're racing to 15. We're hitting our 75th minute. 15 left on the clock. Llamanati to receive. Big pull, huge amount of loft there. Woodward and Murgatroyd to start things off. Some great chase by Aura. It's going to be enough to discourage that first pass. Scuba over the top to Kilgore. Pelarkin and Kilgore away, getting some great give-go work involved before the defense can slow them down. Causing a little bit of a scramble. Going backwards. Scuba again. McCall able to finish that off with a 1-through to Max Chen. They put Llamas back up by 1.
See Aura coming out there with a zone D. First time we've seen that this game. They're obviously trying to switch things up, doing what they can to get back in this game. Llamanati playing, I think, downwind slightly at that point. That zone perhaps a bit too front-loaded, giving a bit too much space behind, and some skilled throwers on the Llamanati side able to exploit that with some Very careful and well executed upside down throws. We love to see those. Lots of chat on the D line from Llamanati. I'm wondering if we might see Zone D in retaliation.
Murgatroyd with the pull. Oh, a little higher than she would have liked. Not going to give them as much room downfield.
Yeah, we're seeing a zone set up. Again, front loaded. Got 3 people up front looking to put pressure around the disc. Slow that handler movement down. Obviously backing their deep cover to take care of anything that might go over the top, and there it goes. Well executed from Aura.
I mean, that's one of the perils. You look at a side like Aura, they're Wellington based. They're going to be able to put throws up in just about any conditions, as long as it's not raining. So even though we're starting to see that little bit of wind, it's not as much of a discouragement to an Aura side as you might expect. So even though we've front-loaded that zone for Lamanatis, they're really trying to apply a lot of pressure around the disc. If that zone defense is even a little bit out of position, even with a Llamanati player or a lot of the athleticism we've seen on that line, having one person back might not be enough to cover the entirety of the end zone. And when you've got some wizards like Aura's offensive handler set, it's quite easy for them to put the disc just about anywhere they want to, regardless of what the conditions are doing.
Looks like a timeout called. Yes, in conditions like this without much wind, there are a few different zone structures you can try with defense, and given the pull on that point, making it about halfway down the field, there may have been an opportunity to really hold back the defense and try and saturate that end zone and force Aura to make some short passes all the way up to the end zone and really frustrate that last scoring pass. We have seen Aura struggle in that situation in the first half, getting close to the end zone. That last pass can often be very difficult. They've scored very well from around the brick mark. That's sort of 20 metres out of the end zone. They've had some great flow and able to, isolate players shooting deep. So, as I mentioned, lots of different options, lots of different defensive looks that can be considered this game, even in fair conditions. But this game is very close. Yet to see a run of any sorts from either team. So as we enter the later stages of the game, getting a break at this point, possibly 2 in a row, might be enough momentum to seal the game out.
Again, full line for the Lamanatis, making sure everyone is on the same page. So it'd be interesting to see whether or not they might be looking to transition to zone if they turn. It's a hard thing to pull off, effectively at any rate. But it's Aura to come out on defense to start things off. 10 minutes left on the clock. Race to 4 at this point. Every single point counts. Nice pull. Curving back towards that far sideline. Not a huge amount of roll. It's going to stop to be picked up by Hayes. Howe there is an option. Engaged now. Howe with a big circle cut to shake off McKevitt. Good amount of width on the field. Hammer over the top. Finds Love Parada. Hayes in full speed at that point. They decide not to use him. Holder to Holder. There's Hayes. Starting on the far side. Hard sprint towards the end line. Curving back towards that front corner on the near side to put it away for the Llamas.
A beautiful Holden to Holden connection, holder to holder connection to Hayes there for the score.
It's got to be like surely half of the Llama sides have surnames starting with H, right? 1, 2, 3. There's a lot of them. And it's clearly working for them. Big hammer over the top. Love Parata comes through. You can see Hayes starting his cut there, recognizing how much separation he had. He can see the disc moving from the far side towards the near side and decides to start just a big crossfield cut, knowing he already had that space. That front corner is the big threat that he wanted to take advantage of and managed it. Llamanati up by 1. Hayes back on the field for more defense. Disc touches early with a little roll. Llamanati's maybe not taking advantage of the chase. Not stopping those early passes. McKevitt can't get it though. Hayes with a lefty forehand. Pulled in by Jess Cook. Resets to Hayes. Murgatroyd on the far side. Decides instead. Love Parata for the break. Llamanati back up by 2. It's 13-11. Woodward with the pull for Llamanati's. They come back out on defense hoping for another one to take them 1 away from a win. Aura get things moving. Brittany Cock with the disc now. Trying to re-engage. Harris oppressive on defense. And there's no call. That's going to be a turn.
Will this be the opportunity that Llamas are looking for to create the first run of the game with 2 breaks back to back?
It might well be. They're in their own half now, offensively speaking. Palakin gets the reset behind the disc. Big fake trying to move things. Off and on, give and go. Palakin in position. Harris makes an aggressive first step, but it's not going to get rewarded. Woodward instead. Low towards the sideline, touched by Aura. It's gone. In that front corner. That's where the Aura offensive is going to start. Jess Cook trying to cover that reset option. Kilgore trying to stop anything going down that line. But it just gets away from the corner. Into the center of the field. Brittany Cock gets it despite a great layout bid from the Llama defenses.
Some really wide pivots there from Aura trying to get around that intense pressure that Llamas are putting on.
A floater out into space. Reeled in.
I believe that's bookends for number 4 there for Aura. The massive
Really
D in the
great
end
work.
zone. And a huge run through for that score.
Like a good nose in winter, no runs in this game. So Aura having scored that to come out on defense. Back to a 1-point game. Llamas up by 1, receiving the disc here. Liddell with the disc for Aura. But again, that full team on the Llama side.
And we've got about 13 minutes left. No, 3 minutes left on the clock. So it's getting very intense. Not that the rest of the game has not been intense. It has been. Swapping points. Swapping a couple breaks in there as well.
There's a big pull. Slows down a little in the wind, touches down just past halfway. Woodward again going to pick it up, supported by Murgatroyd. Howe sitting front of stack in a vertical structure. La Parada again making that initiation from the back of the stack. Resets to Woodward. Finds Jess Cook near sideline. Straight through. Amy Holder finishes to Woodward to take it away within 1. Llamas just need 1 more point to put this one away. Aura need a hold and 2 back-to-back breaks if they want to win. The wind starting to pick up a lot more now. Later stages of the day.
And a timeout has been called by Llamanati.
I mean, now is as good a time as any. They want to put this one away. If they can put on a strong defensive line, and a timeout is as good a time as any to call and structure a zone. Hey, here's what we're going to do. Who wants to play which role? You get your 7 best defenders, best for this situation, on the field. You can generate a turn, you can close things out and put this game away. Finishing on a win.
And has an opportunity here with the wind picking up, an opportunity to wait for that to settle down again. It's been a bit unpredictable this game, picking up and dropping off again quite often.
Yeah, well, that's always the gamble though, isn't it? If you're thinking about a zone, do you want to hold a little bit and let the wind pick up? Or do you hold a little bit and find out that even though you wanted the wind to pick up, it's actually just a brief blast that's shut itself off, or we go back to still conditions? All that effort into planning a strong zone structure would almost be a waste, especially against a team like Aura, who we've seen can dominate through those long passes. They can overload the back end of a zone, which, based on the structure that we've seen from Llamanati's, typically that's not where they have a lot of defensive power. They're front-loading that zone, really applying pressure to the disc, but they're leaving that downfield a little unmarked. So it'll be interesting to see how that shapes up for them now. And there is the hooter, but it doesn't matter for where we are. We're looking at a game to 15 regardless. Murgatroyd with the disc to pull for the Llamas. Hayes, Woodward, Steph Howe, Naomi Mees, Jess Cook, and Kyle Harris on the line. Aura. Pick up and go. Ooh. Was that a block? Or possibly a foul? Looks like there was contact on the disc. So Aura will retain possession here as we enter the 91st minute. Murgatroyd checks it in. No easy resets. Finds Brittany Cock. Nice quick offload. Aoife Broad trying to stretch the downfield. Goes back to Brittany Cock on the far sideline, marked by Cook. Stephanie Howe circling around like a vulture. Can't stop it. Continuing up the line. Woodward. Hungry. Lurking. Can't shut it down. Aura scores. Back within one. 13-14. Game to 15.
And with Llamanati coming out on offense for this point, they've got the advantage. If they can manage to hold this point, then they go away with the win. Aura having to work a bit harder on defense first and then to convert that one into a score. And then needing to do it again to take away the win.
Exactly. It's one of those tough things, a bad spot to be in when the other team's only 1 point away from a victory and you need nothing but perfection and execution, capitalizing on any mistake that your opposition makes if you want to walk away with a win. And to think that we were looking at a 7-7 score just before halftime, we're pretty much exactly back where we were. Maybe that Swiss draw has a lot of value after all, eh?
It really does.
A lot of hands from that Llama side. It comes down to this. Oh, it's got a lot of air underneath. Touching down outside. We're going to see the brick mark signal given. That same Llama vertical stack. Murgatroyd and Woodward. Stack setting up quite deep. Llamas might be looking to finish it in one. We've got Hayes with an early initiation cut, bracketed off by Aura's down upfield defenders. Kilgore picks it up, marked by McKevitt. Puts a long shot up, looking for Howe. Can he get the read? Yes, he can. That's gonna be the game. Oh, Llamas might be herbivores, but they'll take a bite out of you. Aura 13, Llamanati, your winners on 15. A fantastic performance by both of these teams. Probably one of the closest games we've had on stream. We've had a couple of universe point finishes. This one going down to the absolute wire, 95 minutes before a victor was declared. An absolute slog for both of these teams, putting their everything into every single point. Fantastic to see. And I believe that is going to conclude our coverage of Field 2 here at the Division 2 New Zealand Mixed Ultimate Championships 2025. Here in Kirikiriroa, Hamilton, well done to Llamanati, your winners. Commiserations to Aura, who put up a phenomenal fight. We will join you again very shortly for our coverage of the finals match. Cannot wait to bring that one to you. But until then, my name is Blair Monroe.
My name is Emily Stone.
And huge thanks to Tim Gurman, our sideline analyst, who has been here in the booth as well. Some phenomenal insight from you. Thanks, Tim. And thank you at home for watching. We'll see you soon.
ULTI.TV.
Kendrick. Oh, Mana was